Hey you guys, welcome to Sin City Chef Boy. I was just finishing getting these waffles ready. I've been on a real waffle kick lately because I've come to learn that you can do a lot with waffles. You can make sandwiches, you can make chicken and waffle sandwiches. You can do so much, breakfast foods, platters, all of that. So I went on and made some for us today, and what we're gonna do is make some waffle burgers with grilled cheese french fries. Now, I know you guys probably never heard of that before, but don't worry, I'm gonna walk you through the steps and everything and how to do it, and we're gonna get started. So here I have about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and with that, I have 1 egg. Push that together. Now, as you know, when you use eggs, this is something that holds stuff together. And then I have my seasoning mix that has gourmet mix, garlic salt, a Lori seasoning salt, along with a salt and pepper mix. Just gonna toss a little bit of that in there. You're just gonna wanna work it with your hands. Now the purpose of putting the egg in there is so that we can have it to hold together, because I'm not gonna make regular burger shapes. Since we have these little waffles that are in squares, I'm gonna make little squares, kind of like when you go to Wendy's and they have little squares that they make for your sandwich. Alright, now after you got everything kneaded together, all of your seasonings along with your egg, just form it into a little ball. And I have my waffles next to me for reference, just in case you want to see how big they are, so that you don't make your meat too big or too small. Really, at this point, it doesn't matter. Just gonna want to take it, half it up into a half portion of whatever your eyeball sees fit. And then just start to square it up into a square shape. Now, my reason for doing this is because I kind of want to get some thick meat on there. Sometimes when you do a flat shape, you know, really low, you don't get as much meat, and this is a really thick amount of bread. So just to go ahead and compensate for that amount of bread, just make it into a nice little square. And you don't have to worry, because we're gonna put these on the pan and they're gonna bake up, and they're gonna slightly shrink, but they'll still be in the same size. So you won't have to worry about it going into a circle or deforming. That's the purpose of using our egg, so it can hold together. And then do that again with your second one. Alright, now after you've got your second one on there, you're just gonna put that on there. Now with these sandwiches, I really love bacon, as you guys know, and I mean, who doesn't have bacon with waffles? 4 strips of bacon that I'm gonna put in there. We're gonna put extra bacon in there today and be extra fat and greasy. So, I'm gonna sit these in the oven. These can probably go for your bacon about 20 to 25 minutes. This may take about 30 to 35 minutes. Just depends on how thick you have your cuts of beef. So, we're just gonna go ahead and set these in the oven. I have mine set on 375. You can set yours on 400. 350, whatever you see fit. It just depends on how hot your oven gets. So it's been about 15-20 minutes. I got my bacon already crispy and set and ready. Gonna let the hamburger meat still set in there and rest. The dough for our grilled cheese sandwiches. So with these, I have some Crescent rolls. I just got 2 packs of them. Rolled them out. Just put a little bit of flour on my cutting board. Want to make sure that we don't have any holes going through it, so it's not too thin but not too thick. Just gonna lay each one out. And here we're gonna take our onions. Got some nice just chopped onions. Gonna go over here and toss them onto the stove. Back over here, and we'll work on our grilled cheese sandwich, french fries. So we're just gonna roll them out. Now once you feel like you've got it rolled out enough, I personally have a butter spray that I'm going to use. Just going to get a little bit of extra flavor. Then here I have some Velveeta cheese cut up into squares. Just going to lay them on there. Alright. Now you'll take your other piece that you have here and just lay it over. Alright, so you're knitting around the bread to make sure that it's closed on all sides. Just gonna want to take your roller and go over it. It's gonna be a little tough because remember we have these thick cuts of cheese in there. So we got that set. Let's go over here and check on our sauteed onions. Looks like they're cooking really nice. Got them browned on one side. At this point, go ahead and take your hamburger meat. You're just going to want to drop it in there. Alright, now you've got it into a nice shape of a square. It doesn't have to be perfect. Believe me, mine is not perfect at all. I have a pizza cutter. So what we're going to do, and again, this doesn't have to be perfect. There's no specific way to do it. Just kind of make your own way to do it. You can use a pan to fry them. It's easier to use a pot. So if you don't have a deep fryer or anything like that, then you can use a cast iron pot, a regular pot. But you're going to want to make sure that you're deep frying this because you're only going to be doing it for about 30 seconds because obviously it's got cheese and dough and everything and it's going to cook really, really fast. Now after you've got that all cut up, looks like we got our pesto already preheated and ready to go. Just going to set a few of these. I'm going to do about 5 at a time. I don't want them to stick together. Have them in the basket. Just going to want to drop it. You're just going to want to wait about 30 seconds. Alright. So they're fluffing up really, really nice, getting nice and golden brown. Just going to want to pull them up after about 30 seconds. Gonna want to drop them in there, and that's what they're gonna come out looking like. Looks extremely good. So we're just gonna want to continue that same pattern. Now remember, don't overfill it because you could possibly end up with a whole glob of cheese ball, and that's not what they were for. So we're just gonna stick about 4 or 5 of them in there. So I'm just going to drop my last batch of our grilled cheese french fries in there for about 30 seconds. So we're just going to drop this on there. Now when you're doing your sandwich, you can spray your waffle here with a little bit of butter just to give it a little bit of flavor because it's going to be a little bit dry. I'm not sure if you want to put mayonnaise on top of a waffle burger, but it depends on what you want to do. I'm just going to spray some butter, possibly a little side of ketchup, and get it constructed. So when you guys come back, I'm going to have everything put together for you and show you what our outcome is. Welcome back. Looks like I got everything put together. Got my grilled cheese french fries. Nice and golden with cheese on them. Really, really good. Got my bacon beef waffle sandwich. Thank you guys for tuning in to Sin City Chef Boy. Catch me next week.